जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा बनचारी। यमुना तीरा बनचारी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निताय गौर जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद श्री गुरु निताई गौर हरि श्री चरण प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Hare Krishna everyone. So we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2 and text number 31. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The verse is on the board, text number 31, Canto 2, Chapter 10. Tvak-carma-māṁsa-rudhira medo-majjāsthi-dhātavaḥ bhūmy-ap-tejomayāḥ sapta prāṇo vyomāmbu-vāyubhiḥ tvak-carma-māṁsa-rudhira medo-majjāsthi-dhātavaḥ bhūmy-ap-tejomayāḥ sapta prāṇo vyomāmbu-vāyubhiḥ tvak-carma-māṁsa-rudhira medo-majjāsthi-dhātavaḥ bhūmy-ap-tejomayāḥ sapta prāṇo vyomāmbu-vāyubhiḥ. Please chant. Vaishnavis. Jambam-mansa. Word for word meaning. Tvak, the thin layer on the skin. Charma, skin. Māṁsa, flesh. Rudhira, blood. medaḥ, fat, majjā, marrow, asthi, bone, dhātavaḥ, elements, bhūmi, earth, up, water, tejaḥ, fire, mayāḥ, predominating, sapta, 7, prāṇaḥ, breathing air, vyoma, sky, ambu, water, vāyubhiḥ, by the air. Translation and purport given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The 7 elements of the body, namely the thin layer on the skin itself, the flesh, blood, fat, marrow, and bone, are all made of earth, water, and fire, whereas the life breath is produced by the sky, water, and air. Purport. The construction of the whole material world is prominently made by 3 elements, namely earth, water, and fire. But the living force is produced by sky, air, and water. So water is the common element in both the gross and subtle forms of all material creation. And it should be noted herewith that due to necessity, water being most prominent in the material creation, in the principal element of all the 5. Being most prominent in the material creation is the principal element of all the 5. The material body is thus an embodiment of the 5 elements, and the gross manifestation is perceived because of 3, namely earth, water, and fire. Sensations of touch are perceived due to the thin layer on the skin, and bone is as good as hard stone. The breathing air of life is produced of sky, air, and water, and therefore open air, regular bath, and ample space in which to live are favorable for healthy vitality. Fresh produce from the earth like grains and vegetables, as well as fresh water and heat, is good for the upkeep of the gross body. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsham. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shirade Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Mancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Bhashade Gaur Bhakta. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna. Text 31. The 7 elements of the body, namely the thin layer on the skin itself, The flesh, blood, fat, marrow, and bone are all made of earth, water, and fire, whereas the life breath is produced by the sky, water, and air. So in the last canto we understood, sorry, not last chapter, we heard the 4 key verses of Srimad Bhagavatam spoken by Krishna to Lord Brahma, Chatushloki Bhagavatam. And then Brahma spoke the key verses to Narada Muni, and with a request, please expand this. And Narada Muni spoke the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam to Vyasadeva and also requested him to expand. So Vyasadeva wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam with 18,000 verses. There's a purpose behind it. So elaborately he gave us the Srimad Bhagavatam. So in this chapter we are hearing more expanded understanding of the Chatushloki verses. So as we know, in the first verse of this chapter, the 10 subject matters that have been discussed in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and it's very important to know that that Mahapuran has those specific characteristics. So, and if we understand those things, we understand this chapter very well. Creation of the universe, subcreation, planetary systems, protection by the Lord, the creative impetus, the change of manus, the science of God, returning home back to Godhead, liberation, and sumam bonam, or the shelter. These are the 10 subject matters Krishna, means the Bhagavatam has. That's why it is Mahapuran. So, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, so many chapters are dedicated to describe the creation. Why? A lot of 2, 3, 4, 5, all those cantos are describing mostly the creation, subcreation, and also 11 canto, also in some other cantos also. Why? Because we are in this creation, we are entangled within this creation. So get out of this creation, we must understand the science of creation also. So we may think it doesn't interest us much because it's very technical, very, means of course scientific, but we experience it's very difficult to understand whole subject matter. But if we understand why the descriptions are there or the message is there, then we'll accept it and take full advantage of it. We have people have different conception of God. Mainly 3 types of conceptions are there. One is Virat Rupa, second is impersonal aspect of absolute truth, and finally, the most complete, most accurate and subtle and more personal feature. That is the personal feature of God. And we Vaishnavas are worshipping the personal feature of God, personal aspect of God. But many people, they appreciate the Virat form, or universal form, Virat Rupa, and they think God is the Virat Rupa. There is some advantage in this, but the actual benefit we receive when we personally worship the personal God, personal form of absolute truth, Sri Krishna, or other personal forms, Lord Rama, other. And this chapter is the 31, text 31 is the conclusion of the description of the Virat Rupa and also the message in it there. Message is there. What's the message? Means the purpose behind this creation. What is the purpose of this creation? We all know. That purpose is to realize God, to become God-realized person. See, Krishna also within this creation is very important part of God realization. Krishna created this material manifestation, means or creation, so we can experience here when we try to dominate the material energy, when we try to satisfy our senses, when we try to gratify our senses or become busy in sense gratification, we definitely experience the frustration. This frustration part is also very important for us, stepping stone for God realization. Then we will start thinking or searching for the real substance or the real bliss or happiness where within this material world. But we get the frustration, then we understand there is another reality in which the Supreme Lord performs his pastimes, and with the personal relationship, connection with the Supreme Lord, we achieve the bliss, happiness, peace, what we are looking for. So it's a step-by-step process. And the intelligent people, they appreciate whatever Krishna is doing. Means whatever behind of everything that Krishna is present, they appreciate that. So Virat Rupa, they see some people. In Bhagavad Gita also, Arjuna saw the universal form. He saw everything within Krishna. And Krishna also performed one beautiful pastimes when he was a small baby in Vrindavan. Once he was eating dirt. And his friends and Balaram, they were complaining to Mother Yashoda that Krishna was eating dirt. When Mother Yashoda asked Krishna, "Have you eaten dirt?" and Krishna denied it. So Mother Yashoda wanted to see herself whether Krishna has eaten dirt or not. So she said, "Open your mouth." When Krishna opened his mouth, then she saw entire creation within Krishna. She saw herself also within Krishna, also baby Krishna. So the creation is not for us to reject actually, but to learn. There's a purpose. We should not hate this creation. Rather we see, as Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, see everything is the paraphernalia for the service of Lord. If we dovetail everything in the service of the Lord, then we achieve perfection over here. Although some philosophers, they say this creation is nonsense, only Krishna, Lord is actual substance. Yes, but creation is not nonsense, ultimately. Although we should not be attached to it, but it's not mithya, false, or nonsense. Also, although it gives us frustration, whenever we try to enjoy here, independently and dominate the material energy, definitely we get punished. We become frustrated. But we should search out Krishna. If we search out for Krishna, what happens? Actually, very advanced devotees, the intelligent devotees, they are always searching Krishna everywhere. They are Paramahamsas. They see Krishna in every atom, in their own hearts, outside, inside, everywhere. This is a very important point also, because we are within this creation, but we have to get out. Mukti, one point is mukti. We have to get the liberation, and we have to go back to the spiritual world by accepting Krishna as our only shelter. Krishna is all in all for us, just like little child. For the little child, mother is all in all. Mother is the whole world for the child. Similarly, for the devotees, Krishna is the whole world for us. Our sun rises from the lotus feet of Krishna and also sets in the lotus feet of Krishna. Everything begins from Krishna and also ends in Krishna. Means whatever we take from Krishna, we offer everything to Krishna. So if we understand Bhagavad Gita, how to become released from the entanglement within this material creation, and then we understand the purpose behind it. Means we have to develop the equal vision, seeing Krishna everywhere. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam cha mayi pashyati, tasyaham na pranashyami, sa cha me na pranashyati. Whoever sees me everywhere and everything sees within me, I am never out of sight of that person, and he is also never out of sight from me. So we establish a constant yoga, constant connection with Supreme Lord. Also Krishna says, ihaiva terjita sargo yesham samme stitam mana nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmat te brahmani stita. Those minds are established in sameness or equanimity, have already conquered the conditions of birth and death. They are flawless like Brahman, and thus they are already situated in Brahman. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said so many times how to achieve success in our lives by surrendering ourselves completely unto Lord, and by seeing everyone with an equal vision on the principle of presence of soul and super soul. This is very important to develop equal vision, to be established in the sameness. Means mind should be always seeing Lord. By seeing Lord everywhere, we become equipoised and we become very wonderfully situated in Krishna consciousness. That is the one point I wanted to share. Another point is that we are not independent at all to do anything and achieve success. Above us, the demigods are there. Above demigods, the Supreme Lord is there. The body, the universal body, our body is the corresponding with the universal form of the Lord. When the Lord wants to see us, we have the eyes. Wants to hear, then we have the ears. Everything. Means we are not independent of the desire of Krishna. And all the senses, all the parts of our body, we have presiding deities of all the senses. Presiding deities of eyes is sun, planet. Presiding deity of the mind is moon, planet. So in this way, we are controlled by the presiding deities. And the demigods, means they are demigods, and the demigods are being controlled by the Supreme Lord. See, if we understand this, we are never independent, although we have some independence to act. But still, if we depend on Krishna for our success and understanding the reality that we are not absolutely independent, only Krishna is the absolutely independent, and then we take full shelter of Krishna. This is very important point, to take full shelter of Krishna. But the purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam is very wonderful. From 1 canto to 9 cantos, the process of creation and liberation has been discussed. And in the 10th canto, our Ashraya Tattva, Shri Krishna, has been discussed or manifested. In the different cantos, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 4th, 5th, we have to understand how Krishna is so powerful. How Krishna is so great. We say God is great. How God is great, that information has been given in different cantos. But when we enter into 10th canto, there we see Krishna is not great as God. Krishna is not the supreme controller. What we are understanding here in these chapters, within this canto, that Krishna is the supreme controller. He controls the demigods, and demigods are controlling our different senses. In this way, we are always being controlled. So if we see Krishna is the Supreme Lord, He is the Supreme Controller, and all of a sudden we go to the 10th canto, then we see so much contradiction. Krishna is not the controller, but He is being controlled there by Mother Yashoda, by all the devotees of Vrindavan. Krishna, we know by one pastime, once he was carrying the sandals of Nanda Maharaj, as Nanda Maharaj requested, "My dear son, please bring my sandals to me." And he picked up the sandals, put on his head. Then with so much difficulties, he came to Nanda Maharaj and gave the sandal. Is he God, the little boy, who is so naughty? Although Krishna is supreme proprietor, but in Vrindavan he loves to steal butter or other things. Is he God? Yes. This is the Krishna's sweetness side. If we do not thoroughly understand Krishna's supreme position and his supreme authority over everything, then we'll misunderstand when we enter into 10th canto. When we'll see ultimately God is a cowherd boy. He loves to tend the cows. He loves to play with his friends. He loves to be defeated by the friends. He loves to carry his friends over his shoulder as the condition of the game. And Mother Yashoda so many times would pull the ears and would chastise the boy Krishna. So much contradictions. Gopis, they used to make him dance. Krishna dance now. Krishna immediately starts dancing. What is this? Is he God? So long we have understood God is the supreme and controller, supreme proprietor, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent Lord. But in Vrindavan we see he is controlled completely by the love and affection of the Brajavasi. So So two sides are simultaneously present in Krishna, both contradiction. And what is the purpose of this contradiction? It gives us bliss. When we see this beautiful contradiction in Krishna, in Vrindavan, it gives us wonder. We become struck with wonder, and that gives us bliss, and that makes us also very attractive to Krishna. We develop intimacy with Krishna. But by just realizing Krishna is supreme absolute truth, and Suman Bhuvnam is the supreme controller, we cannot develop the intimacy with Krishna. But when we hear the contradiction of Krishna's qualities in Vrindavan, then we easily develop our intimacy with Krishna. So that is the real point. Tasting the bliss. And we all want to that. We may think, okay, why don't we just start loving Krishna without going through these cantos? Elaborate descriptions of the creation, maintenance, this. Can we go directly to the 10th canto and start loving Krishna? Actually, it is not possible. We cannot become selfless. We have to understand that our eternal constitutional position as the servant of Krishna, this is very important to thoroughly realize and become detached from the sense enjoyment. We must live in this world in the principle of renunciation and complete attachment with Supreme Lord. And complete attachment with Supreme Lord is possible when we establish our intimate relationship with the Supreme Lord. And that is possible when we hear His sweetness side. How Krishna wonderfully plays and attracts the minds of all the residents of Vrindavan. Means we are being trained to focus our minds on Krishna. Eyes and mind should be always focused on Krishna, fixed on Krishna. See, before the class, we always chant Jai Radha Madhava, and that is our goal. Means as soon as you sing that, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, immediately our mind goes to Vrindavan, isn't it? Kunja Bihari, as if we are seeing so many kunjas, and Radha Madhav are there. And Gopi Jana Ballabha, he is the hero of all gopis. Girivaradhari, also we see his pastimes. When he was just 7-year-old boy, he lifted the Govardhan Parvat, the mountain. Yashoda, Nandana, he is the son of Yashoda. He is not God. Actually, Krishna gave up his godhood in Vrindavan. He keeps his godhood or supremacy in Vaikuntha, in this material world also. But in Vrindavan, he is not God. He is not being worshipped as we worship here. As we worship here Krishna in awe and reverence, Krishna was not being worshipped in Vrindavan that way. But he is being loved by everyone. This love is the worship. The form has been changed. Here, with awe and reverence, with so many rules and regulations, we do. There, the love is the worship. We appreciate that because that gives us so much joy inside. So the point is, although we are here within this creation, and we are hearing simultaneously about Krishna from 1 to 9 as well as 10, his wonderful pastimes in Vrindavan. Why? The purpose is to love, to develop the attachment for Krishna. So this is actually essence of this chapter, and this is the essence of this text number 31. And the 7 layers, and 7 elements in our bodies also present in the Virat Rupa of Krishna. Virat Rup, we have seen one painting, Krishna's body is made of all planetary systems or planets, right? Means we are living within the body of Krishna, fine. And place of living is also Krishna. And why? What's the relationship with that? That our every body part and tissues are parts of Krishna. This is an important point. Our mind is part of Krishna's mind. Our intelligence is the part of Krishna's intelligence. Consciousness is the part of Krishna's consciousness. Subtle part and gross part. Now body, skin, bone marrow, and thin layer, and the flesh, blood, marrow, bone, all are part of Krishna's energy. Krishna is not like we are having the material body also, Krishna has his material body. No. But still, Virat Rup, or universal form, is a form of Krishna. Prabhupada says it is kind of material form of Krishna. So we have to proceed further to the impersonal understanding of Krishna, absolute truth. Proceed further, the personal feature or understanding of the absolute truth. That is the final, ultimate understanding. And then developing our personal, intimate relationship with Krishna, to love Krishna and experience bliss in the relationship with Krishna. In this way, we become eligible for entering into the spiritual world. That is the purpose of the whole creation. So thank you very much. Thank you so much. Whatever I understood, so I shared with you. Hare Krishna. Is there any question, comment, or anything to say here?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thanks for wonderful lecture. My question is, as you say, like when we reach 10th canto or we hear pastimes of Krishna and we read this Krishna book, so we learn that Krishna can be controlled, and every jiva has like a desire to control everything. And so now the question arises, like, when there are chances of being sahajya now. So because, we pretend to be like that we are controlling Krishna. So like how can we prevent ourselves to being sahajya, or like actually we are not eligible for that, but to pretend to be that like that?
Okay, if I have understood correctly, means your point is we have tendency to control Krishna. Actually, it is not. The Krishna is allowing us to be controlled by us, allowing himself to be controlled. Anyway, when we read Srimad Bhagavatam thoroughly, that's why the rule is there. From first canto up to 9th canto, we become thoroughly convinced of Krishna's position and our relationship, our constitutional activity, everything becomes so clear. But Sahajiyas, they never read the Srimad Bhagavatam, the way we read. Going through each canto, chapters, thoroughly trying to understand, and we study Bhagavad Gita also. Sahajiyas, they never do it. So they directly enter into 10th canto. Also, they generally do not hear even Krishna's childhood pastimes. They're focused on the Rasa Panchadhyayi, means the Rasa Leela part, the relationship or pastimes between gopis and Krishna, Radha Krishna. They think other things are very unimportant, unnecessary. Only actual rasa is there, pleasure is there. Only when we discuss Radha Krishna Prema Tattva and pastimes of Gopi and Krishna. So for us, there's no chance. As long as we are adhering Srila Prabhupada's instructions, every day we must read Srimad Bhagavatam. Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also gave us this instruction. The 5 instructions are very important. Nam Seva, A, B, C, D, D. Association with the devotees. Books means the Shastra, chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, deity worship, and living on Dham. So we are under the instructions of our Mahajanas, Acharyas, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so there is no chance. But Sahajas, they even don't chant Hare Krishna mantra completely. That is 32 words, 16 syllables, means Shabda, 32 words and 16 syllables. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. They never chant the complete Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, unfortunately. They made up their own mantra. They chopped the Maha Mantra and entered the name of Gauranga, Nityananda, Radha Krishna, everything they added. So they are doing so many other things. Sahaja means cheap. Means if we want to achieve Krishna very cheaply, it is not possible. We have to go through the process. But this process is not at all difficult. Not at all. Bhagavad Gita says, see me everywhere, I'm everywhere. So we are always in contact with Krishna, no matter what. Within this creation also, we are in the association of Krishna, because that consciousness is required. So we have to be very thoroughly realize the Bhagavad Gita message and study every cantos, beginning with first canto up to 9, then we are completely prepared. And what happens in Vrindavan? Krishna forgets that he is God, as well, and the devotees also, they forget that they are the eternal servants of God. That is the place of another type of illusion. Here is the place we are in the illusion. Who we are these bodies, I am American, I am Indian. Who is Krishna? Krishna is a human being. This illusion is going on. And our purpose of life is to gratify our senses, to dominate the material energy. Wrong ideas. So in the spiritual world, in Golok Dham, there's another type of forgetfulness is there. So Krishna, that's why they all enjoy. The devotees, they forget they're the eternal servants. Love is so strong. Love controls everything, everyone. So Krishna enjoys the pastimes with the devotees. Devotees also enjoys. There's no such thing like controlling over here, that mentality we carry. It is not there in the spiritual world. If we carry this mentality to control Lord, then we will be not allowed to go to the spiritual world. Is that okay? Thank you so much. Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sorry, I came late, so I didn't hear the first part of the class. I apologize. But I'm just noticing, so we're here in the second canto. Prabhupada concludes this purport. He says, therefore open air, regular bath, and ample space in which to live are favorable for healthy vitality. Fresh produce from the earth like grains and vegetables, as well as fresh water and heat, is good for the upkeep of the gross body. So I'm just thinking, the part of the class I heard was like 10th canto. maybe I missed, we should also keep the message of the second canto. Sometimes we see devotees walking by a pile of trash, or living in a home where they walk by the trash, they walk by the dirty water to go chant Bhagavatam. But according to this, we can't be healthy in body or mind if we don't maintain fresh water, fresh air, or ample space. So I think maybe part of the message of the second canto is, well, as long as we have these bodies, we can't artificially think we just come and we're going to think about our relationship with Krishna. We should remember Krishna at all times, but we have to act in the current context, which means we have to be very attentive of the environment. Like this is Mayapur, this is the spiritual realm, the manifestation of Chaitanya Leela, but so many people come here, so what do they see? I mean, inside the gate's very nice, but are our homes pukka clean outside? Are the streets leading up? Are they pukka clean? Are our behaviors towards one another pukka clean? So I think that's a really important part of this purport too. And forgive me, maybe that's probably what you talked about the first half. But sometimes I see, just as you said, very expertly, we want to jump to the 10th canto. So sometimes also we want to jump to loving Krishna, but we're not actually living a sattvic life here. And therefore we become, in a sense, like the sahajas. We're jumping, but we haven't really understood the basics. So I'm a very basic person. I just looked it up to see what this purport was, and Prabhupada's stressing that point. So thank you for reminding us the goal. And I'm just commenting that we should make sure that our mind should be with Krishna, but our feet are on the ground, and we should make sure the ground's pure, according to Prabhupada. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you. It is true. Yes, within this limited time, so many things we could not discuss. I was saying, without reading the from 1 canto to 9 canto, if we enter into 10th canto, we would not understand, appreciate Krishna. We would doubt about this little boy. Is he the Supreme Lord? Who is the Supreme Controller? That contradiction I was discussing means that makes our hearts blissful. Although he is so supreme, but at the same time, he is so available, means achievable, so easy to love him. That's the point. But your point is very great. Of course, not only in Sridham Mayapur, anywhere we have to take care of those things, waste products and other things. Especially in Dham, that's for sure I agree. But two things I understand in my personal life means not only the environment outside we have to take care, also internal environment also we have to take care. Simultaneously, internal environment is contaminated, all the trashes are there, means for God realization, to make the mind very simple, straightforward is essential. Free from duplicity, cheating propensity, those things should not be there. And yatha labha santushta, whatever by the mercy of Krishna I achieve, I attain, be very satisfied. Satisfaction of the mind is also required. And dependence on Krishna, these things. And so internal environment as well as external environment. We may think external cleanliness will increase our internal cleanliness. Yes. Also internal cleanliness increases the external cleanliness. Yes. There is close relationship. I agree with you completely. We must try. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Nice to hear from you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the class, Mataji. Just speaking a little bit to the previous point that was made there. When Srila Prabhupada would visit Mayapur, and I was a resident in the early Mayapur days, and Srila Prabhupada would scrutinize every part of Mayapur. He would go on his morning walk and he would look everywhere. If he saw anywhere that was dirt or unclean in any way, he would chastise Jayapataka Maharaj, who was the director there then, or Bhavananda, who was then a director. And even where the Samadhi is now, there used to be a set of bathrooms, the notorious round house of bathrooms. And on the external perimeter, there would be toilets. And Prabhupada even would push a door open with his cane to see the state of the toilets. So cleanliness is so important to Prabhupada. And I would clean Prabhupada's rooms here, and everything had to be so perfect. And in Vrindavan one time, which was still a construction site, Jamuna and I had cleaned Prabhupada's room. I was assisting her, I was a new bhakti. And Srila Prabhupada came in a little early from his walk, and he ran his finger along his desk and then held it up and said, and was some dust there from, everything was construction. And Prabhupada said, "This has not been cleaned." So each devotee, each member of ISKCON, we have to take it as a personal responsibility that everywhere we go, it's clean. We see dirt, we pick it up. We see a piece of rubbish, we pick it up. Because that's what Srila Prabhupada was very focused on, along with, of course, all of the other devotional practices. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. The point came, just one last point. This means the 5 elements are there in the material energy. So we need air, fresh air, water, fire. So that's why this point came. And it's true. Unfortunately, we are seeing dirty things everywhere. I think government also should be involved here to employ some people to do it regularly. Just like in the big cities, the employees every day they clean the streets, collect the garbage, putting everything in place like that. I think in Mayapur also, our management plus government, if they come together and they make a plan, employ the devotees or people by giving payment regularly to clean the streets and everything, they would do.
And personally, I haven't been to Mayapur for 3 years because of the COVID, and this is the first time in 3 years I've been able to travel. But personally, I've seen Mayapur looking, a lot more pristine and clean. Even the main road, Bhakti-siddhanta Marg, it's kept much more cleanly than it used to be many years ago. So there's positivity there. But we also have to take personal responsibility and not just walk past things.
Yes, that's true. Human life is very responsible life. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki